So now we're gonna go into the I'm tired, man. We ain't recording this thing. Like, it's over with. It's GG's. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Way Podcast.
Let's go.
Let's go. My name is Kyla.
I'm Derek.
And this is episode 1.
It's episode 1 of the
Número
Way.
1. Un poquito español. Okay.
You're just saying anything.
No, honestly, we are so excited to start this journey with you guys. It's been a long time coming. So
Yeah, it really has. Just excited. I feel like we've done. I'm gonna say I don't care. Like I feel like we've done this episode so many times.
It's like the millionth time.
Yeah,
that we've
it's like
recorded this episode.
So at this point, we're just gonna talk. Exactly.
You said at this point we're gonna talk.
So, yeah.
And what you want to talk about, babe?
Everything. Our mission statement.
Kind of the why behind the podcast.
Yeah, the why behind it.
And just really the goal. I think that one of the things that, and maybe like if we're just being in light of being honest, I think if we've like take a look at just us in general, I feel like we've been overcomplicating like what this podcast is really supposed to be. And like
100%.
It's literally just supposed to be for the everybody's, like for the people out there that, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're not in a relationship, just literally for the people who are struggling right now to find God in their lives and to walk with the Lord. And I feel like that's the heart behind it, is just to create a safe space and to let you guys know that you're loved and you're appreciated and you're cared for by God, and you're never too far gone. And so
You're gonna sound good.
what do you mean? For real?
Hey, over here, we're giving soliloquies.
Not you thought it sounded good though. Thank you, babe.
Exactly. So with that, we'll kind of go into the mission statement, and of course, our podcast is called The Way. The Way. Actually, you came up with the name.
Did I? No,
Yeah.
actually, guys,
Yeah.
I wanted the podcast to be called like the sauce. that's the one I gave you.
No, I gave you that one like last year, but we ended up like.
I had it in my notes. It was like in my notes. Yeah, it was like we're gonna like call like it would be like Saucy God or like something. I don't know, but that was like gonna be like a.
But yeah. Anyways, went on a tangent, bro. We talking about exactly. But yeah, it's called The Way, and with that, our mission statement is the way to turn on the light is through Christ.
Amen.
So, yeah.
So why did you come up with that mission statement?
Why? It's funny. I actually didn't even have like a mission statement until we had like a class in school, and they're like, oh yeah, whenever you're doing like a brand or something, you need to have some sort of like mission statement or like some belief like your business or brand needs to have. And I'm like, damn, we are like doing this podcast, like we don't got a mission statement.
So
I don't know.
We're at Foxtail. We're like sitting, we're obviously doing like a Devo, like a Bible study. We're praying. This is over. Like, just to give you guys some insight, this podcast has been something that has been talked about for like going on over a year now.
Yeah.
And so we finally both just came to the decision, like, why are we like debating with the Lord? Like, obviously he has a plan for it, and obviously like this is something that is just going to be used to glorify him. So why would we let our insecurity of like doing this stop us from?
It's there. I got all the insecurity, bro.
Exactly.
I don't want to do this, I'll be honest,
babe.
Nah, I gotta be honest, like I don't.
You don't want to do this?
I mean, I do want to do this, obviously, but like the insecurity doesn't want to.
You're flush.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Like,
like obviously, like anybody who like knows me, like actually knows
Derek
me.
is very introverted.
Yeah, I don't want to like.
You're not a talker.
No, we're not. Like we're good. Like yeah.
We're very opposite. But yeah. So anyway, let me just paint you guys the scene. So we're sitting at Foxtail. We're having coffee, kind of praying, asking God, like, okay, you've given us this name. You've given us, the means to be able to even do this and take time to do this. So what do you want this to look like? Like, how how do you want us to serve you? And so I'm like, I tell this like almost exact statement to Derek, and Derek's like, I think we need to go walk around like Eolas. Like this man, and I'm like, okay. So we take this walk, like 25 minutes later, we're taking a walk around like the lake, which we live in Orlando, so it's, you know, a pretty big lake, and we're walking around, and then like we get to the end, and Derek's like, thank you, Lord. And I'm like, what did he tell you? Like, share with the class.
Like, make like an awakening sound. Like, it's not like that. Like, anyway, it's just like how you make me sound like I'm not that. But it's just, anyway.
Just like a subtle, like, thank you, Lord. You know, it wasn't like, whatever. But I'm going to dramatize it anyway. So thank you, Jesus.
I didn't say it like that.
And here we are.
But yeah, here we are. So yeah. That is our mission statement.
So then I think we need to emphasize, like, what is exactly the light? Because I think that could go a couple of different ways. Like, if we're telling you, like, okay, Derek, the way that you turn on the light is through Christ, and so you don't know God, what are you talking about? What light?
I think a lot of times people just don't really know how to, like there's always like that missing piece or that missing like thing that people search for. And like some people think it's like if they get to a certain money status or they get to a certain like thing with their family or like certain like goal at work or happen to something, like they'll like finally feel that like that peace or that accomplishment. Mm-hmm. And maybe sometimes they do. And it's like, I don't know. It's always like there's like a price tag or like a time limit on it. Maybe not a price tag, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like a timer on that. So it always ends up going away. But like I guess the light to like your heart and like finding true fulfillment and true peace is like you find that through God and like through Jesus only. So like that's like that's the way of it.
That's the way. Exactly. But I think that's so accurate because now we've been in a position where, you know, we've owned our own company for a little over 2 years now. And I think that coming from a place where we didn't really have a lot to where the Lord has blessed us with so much, it was like, I can say like 2 years ago, like when I first had the feeling, I was like, wait, like I just made so much money and like, I don't, you know, like, and it's crazy because I think that when you get to a point where you make money like an idol, that's like, I mean, obviously the Bible talks about that you can't have two idols. And I think that even when you are a Christian, because I grew up in church, not necessarily like grew up, but like I always knew church. Like we went to church on like Christmas or Easter and stuff. And, you know, as I hit like high school-ish age, like I would go more frequently and join worship and stuff. So anyways, but I think that you can still be a Christian and still not be like following Jesus, if that makes sense. Like, and that's all that I'm trying to say is like, I felt like I was still like, I called myself a Christian, but I didn't follow like the way of like true Christianity and I think that true Christianity is being a disciple of the Lord and like living your life like God and so anyways so turning on the light. And I just want to say and like preface this that this isn't for, you know, just Christians. Like not at all like this is for the people who maybe like you're questioning like, is there even a God out there? Like this is for anyone. And I was that person. Yeah. Talk about that a little because you were that person.
I mean, like how deep are we going into that? Like,
just tell me your story, baby.
You know my story. But anyways, it's like he was saying this like, anyways, like I grew up in church, as you know. And it's pretty prevalent in the Black community, like, what is it? Like Pentecostal, apostolic. Yeah. Like we're very like, if you grew up Black, for most times, you believe in God. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of like get that like instilled on you. And I think with me, like growing up, I've seen like a lot of like, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Let me preface by saying that. There's nothing wrong with like the way they kind of went about things. Mm-hmm. But I think for me personally, I just didn't like the hypocritical aspects of it. Like you can't do this, can't do that. Always been told no, like gotta act this way, be that way. So when I turned 18, like that's when I like rebelled. Yeah. Like went to the military, rebelled, completely like questioned everything. I'm a very like scientific, like logical person, as you know. So like I needed to kind of figure out for myself like what, like, is there even a God? I mean, it could be, sounds like a concept. Like, I don't know. Like, I hear these things, that thing. I've never seen it myself. Like, I needed like a sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that type of person where if there's no proof, like, yeah, like I get like the concepts, like it sounds good. Like, I get like it's good traits to be a Christian, I guess. It's like what I would hear all the time. Like, you be a good person.
Yeah.
Maybe go to heaven. I thought everyone went to heaven, but if there was a heaven, like, but whatever. So
with that too, if you're saying like there's good traits to be a Christian, I feel like look at different religions. Like everyone, different religions, and that's what still I did. Have that like
exactly,
like
Buddhist or like all that type of stuff. So I looked at everything. I studied everything. Like I studied Islam. I studied Christian. I studied like this dude Ben Carson. Like who's that? It's actually funny. I think like last year, like year before, he had a debate with this one guy. Like, remember the guy I showed you? Like
I think you did show me.
Yeah, Wesley Huff.
But he was born like in a different country. The guy that was debating him.
I don't know, something like that. But he was like he was talking
philosophical guy, and like he was a Christian, and he had traveled to Jerusalem and like all those places.
Yeah, he did. He did something, and he was like talking about some Anunnaki or whatever, Kawasaki. Like, I don't know. So not little Kawasaki, but he's just saying anything.
Yeah.
And like I like followed that for a minute.
But like, honest. What is that? Like, I don't even know what that is. I'm serious.
It's like some like he claimed he had like documents that predated the Bible and like things that are like from like celestial beings and like your own God and like
this guy Ben is what you're talking about?
Yeah, some like I'm obviously like misquoting what he said, but like you get the point.
I'm getting the point. Okay.
But like I used to follow that for a while, and I thought the concept was good, like philosophy, meditation, like all that good stuff. And I was like really lost. Like I just always like felt lost. Like it didn't matter what I did. And I remember through a friend in my military career, he kind of reintroduced like the concept of God and like like all that stuff that kind of goes into it with me, but in a very like gentle way. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like just like asking me questions. I guess is like the best way I can kind of describe that. And from there, I kind of just began my own journey of like trying to, okay, if there's something to this whole God thing or Jesus thing, because like it was like a taboo. I feel like you say the name Jesus, just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like weird a little bit, I guess.
I think even, and that's one thing I will say is just being in, in a place where like we do mission trips and like, being in this environment a lot. I think that even people who would tell you like, oh, I don't believe in Jesus. I feel like there's so much power in Jesus's name that like even someone who isn't a believer can be like you feel something. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
Like, you say the name Jesus, like there's something about it, right? Like even like you say like people use Jesus as like a funny word, like an Indian word, like it'd be like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something about like the name that just like you just can't put your mind to it. But anyway, it's like I was So
you're in the Navy. This guy who's your friend, he basically is asking you questions about just what you believe, or what is he asking you?
Yeah, it's actually funny. Like I met him through video games, and but yeah,
you're on COD.
Yeah, on COD, and like we just got close, like. No cap. So like we got close to like COD, and he would just through there we just kind of like talk about like God and Jesus, the whole concept, and like I started watching his church online, and that kind of started the whole journey. And
that's so cool. I think it's so cool how God like he meets people in such different ways. Like
and there was still like a lot of obviously it took like we still met, and I was still like doing all the stuff. And
well, I mean, it just planted the seed. Yeah, doing all the stuff he was. And let me tell y'all, when we met Derek, literally, like, we don't even have to get into the full story because we'll have our TED Talk another day where we talk about tea time. But just to give you guys some insight, like this entire relationship was built on an entire lie. Like Derek, one, he cheated on his girlfriend, didn't tell me that he had a girlfriend. So that's like the very like. We're doing the thing, whatever. And like this man has a whole girl at home. So that's one. Like he got caught lacking. Like literally. And I'm a girl's girl. Like I would not play that. Like it's crazy. Anyways, moving forward. So our entire relationship and just how we came together, it was completely like we were completely in the world. And it was built on not on my Bible.
No, I'm saying here, move your chair more.
Oh, move it this way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. but it was just built on like lust and on lies, and like there's so much that God like delivered us from, like thank the Lord, because like there was so much that I feel like we had to go through, and I think honestly we had to go through the mud to see the light. Like I would honestly say that, because I think God he transformed us in the process.
So that kind of like leads to like how we kind of started our whole relationship, because now at this point I had the seed planted. I had the seed planted. Like, okay, I'm pretty familiar with who God is, but like I still didn't really believe like I thought I was still very scared, if that makes sense. Like I think like whenever you kind of first get made aware and kind of believe that like God is a thing, like it's like a little, at least for me personally, there's like a fear, because I'm like, dang, like I still smoke, I still drink, I still
like, am I gonna go to heaven kind of fear, or like
I still cuss a lot, like you know what I'm saying? I still say GD and like, you know, it's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I just be honest, like I just
But like was it like a fear of like, are you gonna go to heaven, or like were you fear of, like his wrath? Like
if I was gonna go to heaven still, because I was still like I didn't really see a path out of like the lifestyle I was in. So like why would I? Like it kind of made me like even more like scared of God in a way. Like dang, like I like this and that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop, but
Did you think he would just not accept you because you sinned so much, or what was?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that turns into us meeting, so you can kind of go into that.
So as I mentioned, Derek and I, obviously our relationship didn't start on the highest point, but I will say that we both met each other doing like a sales job in Atlanta. You guys know like those like MLMs, like outside door-to-door sales. That was your girl. It was rough times.
The trenches.
We were in the trench, like we literally met in the streets. And so we met doing this job. We ended up moving with that company to Orlando. Both realized that we were just in a terrible position, and then we ended up quitting that job. We started doing insurance sales, and actually it's crazy because my boss who we worked in the same company, so our boss who like of the insurance one day, so let me paint you guys a picture. I feel like I have to go back to go forward. So during this time I was a very like mentally unstable person, and I don't say that like you don't smirk. It's like,
what do you want to say? I'm listening to you.
No, because I know in your mind you're thinking she was.
I mean, you were. Like,
exactly.
You're off the pack, bro.
Stop.
But
I was like, but like clinically depressed.
Crazy.
Like, okay, Derek, come on.
You started.
So what would happen is like I was in this job that obviously like sales is commission based and it's performance based, right? And so I was in this career where, I was doing really well, but like inside I felt like my mental was like, well, honestly, even before the career, my mental was just deteriorating.
It happened a lot before.
Like it was a lot. Like there was a lot of like childhood trauma that went into it, and like there was a lot that was going on just in this little head of mine. So fast forward, now I'm into like a positive, like healthy, like job atmosphere, but inside I was just like not happy. Like it didn't matter how much I made, like I genuinely just couldn't find like happiness. And I think that part of that maybe stemmed from just like the depression that I was going through. Like I felt like I was in this weird depression for like 2 years, to where I would see psychiatrists and they would prescribe me medication, and the medication would like make me gain crazy weight, or it was just I just stopped taking it eventually. And I would go like back and forth like in my brain, because I'm like, I feel like I'm okay, but then why do sometimes I wake up and I don't even want to be here anymore? And it was like I struggled with that for so long. Like even thinking about that, because I'm not even like that person anymore, but thinking about that girl who like literally just couldn't escape the things that were going on in her head. Like I feel so bad for her, but also I feel so happy because like I can tell you guys this, and like now like coming on the other side of like just severe depression and what that looked like, that it's crazy how I used to have these wild panic attacks, and like I would be in the office, and in our office we had this little like phone room, so I would go sit in there and turn off the lights. And even like at home, like I would just like turn off the lights when like it would come up, and I would just cry. And so this day I happened to like go talk to my boss for something, and then I don't know what we were talking about, but I just started like crying, and I'm like in his office, and I'm telling him, you know, like kind of like what's been going on like in my head, and he just like, and it's crazy because like our boss is just a cool dude. Like he's an incredible, like he's the GOAT. We love him so much, and he's such like a good friend now. But back then, so I'm like in his office, I'm crying, and he just looks at me and he's like, I think like you need Jesus. And I'm like, I think I do too. Like, like it was like, I think I do too. And it was like such a subtle, like, you know, like little seed in there. And it's crazy because I tell him to this day, I'm like, you don't even understand like the seed that you had planted, because I was like the prodigal son. Like I was in church and I was serving the Lord. And then like one day, couldn't tell you the day, but like someday along the way, I like lost who I was in the process. And I wouldn't say like I lost my faith, because I always like believed in God, you know, but I just lost like who I was in the world almost. Like it was like I was just trying to please the world, and I was suffering from like depression and anxiety and these crazy thoughts. And it was like as soon as I like I will say, like, as soon as I stopped going to church, like, back, like, in Georgia, as soon as I, like, opened that, like, door, it was, like, the enemy was, like, waiting just to, like, get in there. Like, and
like he does for everybody. But
yeah. Like, he's always waiting. Like, and it's, like, and that's why, like, us as, like, Christians, we have to be so, like, on guard and, like, you know, not open these doors, because the enemy, like, there's always going to be, you know, somewhere where he tries to, like what he's going to try to turn something to evil, and obviously God will turn it for good. But if we keep like choosing that path, you know, we have to like choose God at some point so that he can do the work and kind of step out of the battle and let him get in it. So so that's kind of how things came to be. So he looks at me and he's like, I think you need Jesus. I'm like telling him about my old church life and blase. And then he gives me a list of 4 churches that were in the area. And then like 2 months go by. Like we did not go to church immediately. Like 2 months went by. Derek and I got into this crazy argument, which wasn't not normal for us at that time.
Very frequent.
It was a very frequent thing. And one morning, like 2 months later, I wake up and it's February. And I only remember this because the church that we go to, Journey in Orlando, was the first week of their relationship series. And so it was in February. And I woke up at like 5:00, and I just felt like my Holy Spirit was hungry. Like it was hungry for the Lord. And I like woke up and I was just like, Derek, we got to go to church this morning. And like we weren't even talking the night before. You guys know, like when you're in like a fight and like you just go to bed angry, and it's like you wake up, and most times like back then when we fought, we would still wake up angry. Like it wasn't like all things were good in the morning. Like we would still not talk to each other. And so this morning I swallowed my pride and I was like, we need to go to church. And we just haven't ever not been since. Like it's been like since then. I feel like God, like he really touched us in like in different ways. Like how did like that first Sunday like hit you? Because I feel like it hit us like in very different ways. Like talk about that a little.
I'm trying to think. Like I remember, I think we had like a fight that night before, but I can't remember what it was for. And I didn't even want to like go to church. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I had my online thing I was watching on my phone that I was like very much into, and like I felt like I try to be, you know what I'm saying? Like not this way, but I try to be loyal. But like obviously the whole
to
circumstance.
Your own pastor.
Try to be loyal to the pastor. I felt like I was like cheating on him if I would go to like another church. Like it's a weird thought, but like I really, you know what I'm saying? Like I really felt that. And I don't think I ever told you that.
No, you never told me that. I was going to say it's interesting, just like pause really quick, because I think you tried to get me to go to church like online, like not like physically go, but he would always watch like a Sunday service from this awesome church. I was in Pennsylvania, right? And he would always try to like watch it, and we would like be laying in bed, he would have it like on the TV, and I would just fall asleep every time, like clockwork. And we got in a fight one time about it, because you were like, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to like fix what we got going on, and like, I'm like showing you, like he's like, just watch it. Like,
exactly.
So you thought you were gonna cheat on your pastor.
So I didn't want to, like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I ended up going, like, it's one of those situations where, like, all right, whatever. Like, let's try it out. Like, I had no intentions on, like, being there.
Like, long term?
At all.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You just try it out, whatever. So I remember, like, sitting in there. We sat at the very top. I don't know if it was, like, the 8. Was it the 8 or the 10?
It was the 8:30.
We're just in the very top, and, like, he has these huge, like, building blocks or these like little puzzle pieces things or whatever.
They were like blocks. I don't even know. It was like styrofoam. Like
these huge little prop things, and like he was kind of explaining like the foundation, and I just really felt like, okay, like this kind of makes sense. The guy's kind of funny.
Foundation of what? Like I feel like you gotta like go into depth. Like.
I mean, you always want to talk about some relationship, right?
But
like,
that's what it was about.
I mean, yeah. What do you mean? I mean, facts, but like, I don't mean that's what it was about. I don't know what else you want me to say.
So it was basically talking about like how like if your relationship isn't built on God, like it's bound to fall apart. So like these building blocks that Derek's talking about, they had like different names on them. Like one of them was same like, thing. Like not the same. Like if I didn't even know the service, I would be like, "What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?"
It had to do with Tetris and
this Tetris at church.
Exactly.
But it was like sex, and then it was like lust, and then it was just like different like names on the blocks, and like like you build your foundation on sex, and like it falls off the top and stuff like that. So that's I
just thought it was good. Like, and I'm just showing up. I'm like, okay, this guy's funny, and felt conviction and felt like just led to the church, and now we're here. So I mean, I don't know.
Felt conviction, felt led to the church, and now we're here. I think I would say like the conviction I feel like hit us like different. I guess that's kind of what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, like timeline. Like, yeah.
Because I think like I felt like convicted almost immediately for having just sex out of marriage. Like that was like my thing. And I think I told you like in the car, I was like we can't have sex anymore. Which like not to say, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that like it never happened again before we got married, because that's definitely not the truth. But we definitely attempted. and the conviction was there, and I feel like that's like the first thing that I felt. And then I think for you it was more so which, by the way, actually, I feel like you took that so well. Like, I don't even think I ever told you this, but I was, like, so worried for, like a week before I even told you, like, that I didn't want to have sex anymore, because I don't know. I just thought, like, you'd leave me or something. And, like, I told you and you were like, okay. And I was like, that's it? Like, okay. Oh you were like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I was like, oh, like
yeah.
But yeah. And then I think, like a couple weeks later, like, you told me that you were convicted of something. I want you to share that.
You put me on the spot. Put you on the spot. But yeah, so like I think it was like maybe like 6 months in, or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's felt like a conviction. So I used to smoke a lot, like every day for
a long time.
For a long time, literally for like 10 plus years.
Since I knew you, honestly,
yeah, literally for 10 plus years. I smoked like in the military. I smoked cigarettes, the Marlboros to the Camel Crushes.
I literally just found this out like a week ago, guys.
Yeah,
I was like,
smoked everything. Cigs, the big vapes, Black and Mild, wood tips, wine, if you know, you know.
I don't know.
The RDAs. Like, I was just be honest. And then I vaped a lot. I just really felt conviction with smoking. And I think it was like, not because like, obviously it's like a sin, right? Mm-hmm. Like obviously you don't want to like, well, maybe not obvious. I don't know. That's up for debate. I don't want to like steer it, whatever. But like, I just felt conviction because like when I used to like smoke weed, I'm talking about weed, for example, like weed, I would just be like a different person.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I would like act differently. Like I feel like I like took on that personality of like just being high every single day, and like I'd be like just pretending to be this and that, or like not pretending to do anything, or just being lazy. So like,
and that was your excuse for being lazy. Like, yeah,
I mean, it's just facts. So like, and like, it just for me personally, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me personally, it just I just felt like a change needed to happen.
Yeah.
And I really felt led by God to like change it in that type of way. So I gave it some time. It was hard, but I stopped smoking. So, and don't get me wrong, like I still have like I feel like with any belief that you have in your core, like or with anything that like you're really addicted to, like the urge, at least for me, I haven't seen it. It doesn't really go away. Yeah. But like the energy you give the urge, that's something that can't go away.
I think that's good.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think, well, I feel like addiction, like, because it runs heavy in my family, like, you know that, right?
Yeah.
And that's one thing, like, I remember telling you, like, a couple years ago, is, like, one of my biggest fears, and this is why I've never tried, like a hard drug, is, like, getting addicted to drugs. Like, I've seen, like, people in my family, and And I think that part of it is like genetic almost. So it's like, if you know that like you're prone to do something, like in general, I have a very addictive personality. Like if I get into a show, like I have to like finish it, you know, or if I'm like reading a book, like I love reading, like I have to like finish the book.
Speaking of, I'm going to pause there actually, but like, this is something you do. I'm going to tell people that you do that. I get exactly. I've literally, this is something I've literally never like seen in my life. I've never seen somebody like this is how, like, it's so OD, like you literally feel some type of way before I even say it. Like this girl would literally fast forward and look at the ending and like look up a whole show, go to the last episode and like scroll through it before you know anything, and then go back and watch the show just so she can know exactly what's going on.
Because I have to decide if it's worth my time.
Like, why would you want to see the ending of any show before you watch the show?
That's like, this has actually been a long, like we've fought over this for like the past
like
4 years.
I can't watch any shows with you. Like I literally like
so mad at me. He's like,
why would you want to go to the ending of the show first? To then go back and watch the show.
I don't know. I've been doing this since I was literally a kid though. Like literally, like I remember watching Teen Wolf like with my brother. Like we would be watching Teen Wolf, and we would be, because it like back then, like they only had episodes come out like once a week. So I would like purposely like wait like 3 weeks to watch terrible. Like the 3 episodes to know what's gonna happen in the episode. But I think
like you rob yourself of the moment.
You know what, babe? This is like, and I think I just had like a revelation sitting here talking to you about this, because I've always been like, I've always wondered why I have to do that. But I just had like this image of when I was like really, really young, we were in the movie, we were watching like a Conjuring, I think. Like, I don't, it was like one of those like really scary movies. Mm-hmm. And this is like another reason. First, like scary movies with the demons, I can't do it. But this is another reason why I hate scary movies. I will never forget, like I'm sitting in the movie theater, I'm with like my friends. We have to be in like middle school or something. And I think Troy was like in high school, my brother, like a freshman. And I'm sitting there with like him and his girlfriend at the time. And like, I just was so anxious the whole time. Like the scares, like I literally started crying. Like me and Troy walked out of the movie theater. Like it was terrible. And since then, I think I've had to know like what the ending or like what happens, like what the big pivotal point is, so I don't get like scared.
Like you miss the details of everything. Like it's just not a good experience. But anywho,
it's okay.
Back to addictions. Like back to addictions. Like,
but yeah, I mean they just hit people in different ways, and I think that that's like one of the things is like for like you just said, that you never stop. Like that urge never really goes away.
Yeah, it's like an ongoing battle. Like
and I think that, I mean, the Bible talks about this too, where it's like you like pick up your cross daily, and I think that that's something that can be used in that sense too, of like you have to choose.
Yeah.
You have to choose God daily. Like it's not like you just say like, oh, like I'm baptized and I'm made clean and you know now everything's okay. Like no, it's like now like you're serving the kingdom. Like you gotta like.
Yeah,
like tap into that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like, I mean, obviously I agree with like what you're saying, and I think just I want to make it like personal for me. I don't want to put like my experience on like anybody else. I think for me and like the way like God spoke to me is like I just couldn't function the way that He wanted, the way He was calling me, and the way He was pulling me towards being high every single day. Now, if there's somebody else, you have a different prerogative, like that's on them. Like for example, like. It's actually a perfect example. We're talking about this in school the other day. We're talking about like ChatGPT and like classwork, right? Yeah. I'm gonna out myself. I don't care. But like we're talking about like convictions of like using chat, you know, for their stuff, and like, you know, which is whatever. It makes sense, you know. I don't feel any conviction. I'm gonna still do it. and the thing is, I told the guys and I told the people like I don't feel a conviction, like but like the funny thing is, some people like they felt a conviction like of like, yeah, maybe I am doing it, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know, and that's just me and my personal walk with God. It's just like for me, I feel it's a different situation, and like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like I was never the best at school. Like I just like, there's a way it can.
Get easy.
Yeah.
That's actually so funny. I could see how that like would be a conviction for some people. Though.
Yeah,
like,
people really feel some type of way. So like your conviction, like I always say that, like I know like we're making light of it, but like if your conviction is different than my conviction, like it's not to like shame anybody, put anything on anybody, because one, we're not better than anybody. Two, like we still like struggle just like anyone else would, and so we got different convictions. So.
That's so good. Yeah. I think that's a thing, and I'll just like speak on personal experience because maybe it's not like everyone's experience, but I think one of the things that I used to struggle with being in church, like in my younger years. I say like in my younger years, like I'm not like 22.
Exactly.
In my younger years. But like so I remember being in like Baptist church, and I'm only just saying that to like create context. Like, you know, I think Baptist church is amazing. But I remember being there, and there would be like, I don't want to say like a set of rules because I feel like that's not like what I'm trying to say. But I just remember like kind of like feeling like some people were like hypocrites, and I'll just say this from like an experience. So like, you know, we're in church, and obviously like at this time, I don't even think it's called like Sunday or like Bible school, because like when you're in like the middle,
Sunday school.
It's like Sunday school, but it's not like young. It's like the middle tier, like
youth. I
guess like youth. Yeah, I guess that would be the name. So I remember being in youth, and like we're getting taught like, you know, like that drinking is bad, and like all these things are bad, right? And so like in my head, I'm like, okay, like, you know, like don't drink, got it. And then I remember like literally the next week, I am at this. I guess it would be like an equivalent of like what a small group is today. But it was just like a little hangout, like a church hangout. And I remember the person who was like teaching the class that said this, like we're at that person's house. And I remember opening the fridge, and I'm seeing like a crap ton of beers, and I'm like, okay, like drinking's bad, but like what is this, you know what I mean? And I just remember having that thought. I was like, oh, like these people really don't live out what they say, like it's just all kind of like for show. And like there was some other things that like went on to where, you know, I was just like realizing, but I just remember like like just feeling like that hypocrisy. How do I say that?
Hypocrisy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I said it right. Hypocrisy. But I remember feeling that, babe, and I was like, dang, like, you know, like you're telling me that I'm not gonna be accepted into heaven. Like maybe not saying that verbatim, but that was like the feeling that I got like from the sermon. If I do like these sins, and then like you're doing these sins, so like is all of this just like a scam? Yeah. Like I was just like what are we talking about here?
It's very common.
Yeah. So no, but actually I forget why I was saying that, but I had a reason for that story. So, I was saying that because I think that one of the common misconceptions of like Christianity is like, oh, Christians think that they're perfect, or Christians think that they're better than other people. And maybe like, I will never sit there and tell you that there's not like a rotten apple in a bunch. Like I'm sure that there is, you know, like we've seen
there's rotten apples in everything.
Everything. Like
in
everything.
Every job, there's rotten dogs. There's some mean dogs.
There are. Oh my gosh. And anyways, I love dogs. But yeah. But the reason that I say that is because I just hope that this podcast can be like a very itty bitty teeny tiny part, and you guys seeing that, like, you know, like we claim Christianity, like we claim Jesus, and like we will openly tell you that we are not perfect, and like we have battles every single day that we have to pick up our cross every single day and choose obedience and choose surrender. And that's not an easy thing to do. And I think that like when people talk about like Christianity sometimes, and I've actually heard this in the past year, so I'll just say it plainly. I think that sometimes people that are saying like, oh, I'm a Christian, they're like emphasizing that they're like holier than someone who isn't a Christian, you know? And it's like, okay, like if you're going to emphasize that, like you got to live that out, because if you're still, you know, doing the things that you were before, then now that's why people will look at Christians and be like, oh, like they're all hypocrites or whatever. And like, you know, and I feel like I hear that all the time, and I'm like, no, like that's just not the truth. And I think that that's one of the reasons that I'm like really excited about this podcast, is because I want to talk more about like not even Christianity, like forget Christianity. I just want to talk about like what it is to really like live your life in a way that reflects Jesus and who he is. And like, because if you're doing that, then you're good. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
solid.
You're doing that, you're solid. Like, and I think that that's one of the things, like, the Bible says is like, you will know them by their fruits. And that's like I think about that every day. I'm like, every single person, like, you have to use discernment because there's a lot of fakeness out there. Yeah. So our podcast, our first one is going to drop on March 14th. So you guys will be seeing that today. But moving forward.
Also my sister's birthday. I feel like she'll be tight if I don't say that.
Yeah, it's my aunt's birthday too. We got married.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Morgan.
Kennedy.
But yeah, so our podcast, it's going to drop on Thursdays each week at 7 p.m. And moving forward, just so you guys kind of get some insight on what the tea is going to be about. We're going to talk a whole lot about Jesus, a whole lot about the word. And we're going to talk about unity and what it is to really, like, you know, not only be a Christian, but to live out following Jesus and what that looks like in everyday life in 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you had a prayer for us to end it out, babe.
I know you felt that.
Exactly.
But yes, I'm going to read out a prayer. It's Jesus' last prayer. So this is Jesus' last prayer before he gets, like, if you don't know the story, Jesus gets taken up, he gets crucified, and he gets, you know, killed to save us, pretty much, right?
So God sent, like, his one and only son, his perfect son, to basically die for our sins. And
exactly. And this is like his last prayer for the people before he gets taken to get arrested and all that stuff. So, it's a prayer about unity and bringing people together. And yeah, we'll go ahead and end this with his prayer, what he has to say. So this would be in John, I believe it's chapter 17. Let me get the exact one. Yes, 20, chapter 17. Yeah. It's going to be verses 20 through 25. Let's go ahead and read it.
Okay.
It says this: "My prayer is not for them alone. I also pray for those who believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you have gave me, that they may be one as we are one, I and them as you and me. May they be brought to complete unity, to let the world know that you have sent me and that you have loved them even as you have loved me. Father, I want those that you have given me to be with me where I am, and to see my glory and the glory you have given me because you have loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I do know you, and they know that you have sent me. I have made you known to them, and I will continue to make you known in order that the love that you have may be in them, and that I myself may be in them. Amen."